Page 12, Downton Abbey, or the theme from the show Downton Abbey. 4/4 time, we're using all the white keys, there's no accidentals anywhere. We got eighth notes all over the place. Now I'm going to take it one hand at a time. Let's make sure we know what each hand is doing, and then we'll go back and try and put the hands together. So the right hand starts at measure 3. Remember the little numbers in the boxes above the staff? Those are measure numbers. And measure 3 is the first measure of the second line on page 12. And we're starting with 5th finger here, so we're starting in this position. We may not stay here. Actually, we won't stay here, but that's where you're starting. So it's just quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then a 3. Again, we take advantage of the repeated notes to change hand positions. So measure 4 again is here. Reach down thumb. Really, we're kind of in this position. So we went from this position to here. Okay, and during the rest, you come back up. This time it's 3rd finger. 1, 2, 3. That way we can hit the G and then reach down for the A. And then again, a repeated note, change position. And then they have the word shift there at the bottom. Isn't that nice of them? I don't really use the term shift. That's more of a string player's. I mean, the way they're doing the curved lines tells me they're probably string players, because the curved lines in these Faber books make more sense for string players than piano players. We simply move. You can say shift if you want to, but we simply move. You just lift up and move. And it's an A minor chord, so you're going to go from here to here. Try and get the notes down all at the same time. You're just lowering the hand down. Put these 3 fingers down, and you lower the hand down. And the next measure, the G chord, and then measure 13, use the thumb again on the A, and then 2, 1. So we're sort of in this position. That's fine. And then a measure 15, during the rest you come down 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and during the rest, on measure 16, you come down again. 2 and 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's an A at the bottom. 1, 2, 3. Wavy line, I'll come back to that. Here. Then lift up. This is tricky. You're going from here to here. The little finger from E to E. You may have to practice. Sometimes in piano we do practice the hand moves, because the beat has to be a steady beat. You can't be hesitating anything. So you just lift up and move. And then a 2, 1. And then the measure, 20? It has an AVA above it with the line, dice line. Go up. So the notes are here, but you're going to play a higher up here. An octave higher. So you... and you're going to end it like that. It sounds wonderful, don't it? Okay. Because of the AVA. Left hand's going nuts with the... I'm just rotating actually the whole arm. You can't really see it very well. I'm rotating the whole arm, and it's a small motion. I'll exaggerate it so you can see it better. It's a small motion. I'm just shifting weight from finger to finger. It's like you shift weight when you're walking on leg to leg. Same thing here on the fingers, just here. I'm not a lot of weight, it's a little weight, just enough to push it down. So 1 and 2 and 3, and this goes on for a while, and then measure 4, you get the F. Then measure 5, you're back to this, and this fun. Let's go over to page 13. You're starting out on measure 11 here, and then the next measure, thumb goes up 1 to here. 1 and 2. And then the next measure, the little finger goes down 1. And then the thumb comes down. And then the little finger comes up. 1 and then the right hand takes over. In the meantime, back at the ranch, the left hand has to go down to this F down here. Whole note, and then you have an E, and a 2, 1. And I recommend you go ahead and you're using 2 on the, just go ahead and use 2, 5, 2 at the end. I see no reason to use one. Now just use two, you're there. And you hold that down for 12 beats. And then the last measure you just lift up and move up. So work out each hand one at a time. Make sure you got the rhythms and the fingering and the moving around and all that worked out. And then go try and put the hands together. And that's usually almost like starting over sometimes. It's just tricky. Well, the first line is just left hand. So let's go start with the second line of measure 3. We're together here. 1 and 2. Never mind what it sounds like right now. We just want the hands to work together. You'll be hesitating all over and struggling with it. That's okay. It's all part of the exercise of getting the hands to work together. Now, page 13 at the bottom, you're down here. Hit the chord, 4 notes, and hold the left hand down as you go on. And these left hand is tied. And that 8 VA only applies to the upper staff, which is the right hand. Well, that's not exactly... I need more coffee for that one. But the idea is to get the hands to work together and then go back through and get rid of the hesitation so it is a steady beat. You go slow as you got to go, doesn't matter, but it's got to be a steady beat, no hesitations. Once you can do that, we can think about the articulation, which really there isn't any. The left hand, 8th notes, just connect this left hand all the way through. There's nothing marked, just connect it as best you can. Sometimes you can't because you got to move. That's okay. Just do the best you can. And the right hand, they're giving you... there's no words to this, so yeah, where are the phrases? I don't know. You can go ahead and phrase it like they're saying. That they don't show any slurs over repeated notes. I've noticed that. Go ahead and play them as connected as you can. Yeah, measure 3 or... I would connect all this together. And then if you want to lift up, you can. Although, in my opinion, the phrase goes all the way to the rest, the quarter rest. So I'd connect those 3 measures, 3, 4, and 5, and 6, 4 measures. I'd connect them all together. And then you have to lift up for the rest, and it's a new one, that's fine. And now I'd just connect all this together. You can't because the piano won't let you, but just connect it all together. So I think I'd just connect all that together. And the last line on page 13, I'd connect that whole line together in the right hand. You can't connect it because you got to move, but otherwise I'd connect it. Now the fermata's at that last measure there, here. Just hold those out until you're tired of hearing that mess and then lift up. If I do it with a metronome, I'm going to hold that half note A in the left hand. I'll hold it 4 counts instead of 2 and then lift up. Okay. Now let's go back to measure 18 with the wavy line. This is called an arpeggio mark. They want this to be an arpeggiated chord. Got these big fancy words going. Oh, love it, love it. So instead of playing the notes together in a blocked chord, we're going to play them as a rolled chord. And that is 1 note at a time, and hold the notes down here. But it's not done rhythmically. It's just a real quick. Now there's different speeds for rolled chords, so you have to take it on what the music needs. In this case, it's going to be fairly quick. We want to hear 4 distinct notes here, and that's fine. You just, I don't know, the technique is just, I'm using weight, but I'm holding the notes down. And that's all it is. Now, people don't agree on these arpeggiated chords, just like they don't agree on anything else. And it's different ways of interpreting it. In my opinion, it's really up to you as the performer. How do you feel it should be interpreted? Some will play the bottom note on the beat and go on, just 1, 2, 1, 2. Other people will play the top note on the beat, so it's 1, 2. So that it's like a pickup. 1, 2, 3. So to play the measure before it in time, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. If you play it on the beat, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. You'll have to decide, or your teacher will decide for you what you're going to do. I typically play these on the beat, but that's only how I'm doing it. You can do it. That's how I had to do it in college, so that's how I do it. I kind of have a habit of it now. There is a retardando at the end. You can slow down. And keep slowing down on these. They can get slower too, all the way. But however speed you're going at the end of that, go ahead and hold that half note down. Just feel that speed going on. You don't have to keep slowing down with it. Just feel that speed going on. Different people will do that differently too. Now for dynamics, you're starting out moderately soft. MP at the beginning. Whatever you think moderately soft, sort of soft is. Then you're going to crescendo up to loud. However, I suggest the left hand, you only crescendo up to moderately loud because we want to hear the melody. And at measure 3, that forte, that loud, applies to the melody, not the left hand. So just the left hand's only going up to sort of loud. So here's sorry, then a little louder. And then at measure 5, come down. The left hand got to go soft. Again, I think the F belongs on the second beat. The left hand needs to back up to moderately loud. And again, moderately soft. Louder. You can get, this is soft, go up to moderately soft. So the people will hear a bit of a crescendo in the left hand. It gives the illusion the right hand is crescendoing too, and it's not, it's dying away, but it's the illusion. And then loud. Stay loud, and then come down. Measure 15 is both hands the same here. And then these chords at the bottom can be both hands the same, moderately soft, and then loud. And that's both hands here. The reason is because the left hand's going to be held down for 3 measures. So go ahead and play them the same, because it'll die away as you're doing it. And then you're going to go down to moderately soft and down soft. So you have to, again, get to know well enough you feel these dynamics. And you feel these getting louder and softer, because you're twice there on page 12, you're loud, and then suddenly you drop to moderately soft all of a sudden. That's the right hand. The left hand's got to stay under it all the way through. Well, that'll take a little time, but it's good practice to get that kind of control. I mean, most people playing this level, they don't bother trying to make one hand louder than the other. They're just playing. And I'm pushing you a little bit to try and do that. And keep trying. It will come eventually if you keep trying at it. As far as the speed goes, whatever you think moderately fast is. Not fast, just sort of fast. The feel of it. To me, that's good enough. Well, how fast can you do these eighth notes? Keep that under control. They've got to be even and controlled throughout the whole thing. All the way through, no hesitations or nothing, so don't go any faster than you can handle that. And the whole thing is the same speed. until you get to the very end, the last couple measures, you start slowing down. How much you slow down, it doesn't say. You feel it. You only have a couple measures, so you're not going to go that slow, but yeah, you slow down. Now on top of all this, they've added pedal. You see the pedal marking? They're keeping pedaling simple for you, and that's fine, but I usually adjust the pedaling slightly. However, if I pedal it just the way they're showing you, and it's going to be overlapping pedal or legato pedal or syncopated pedal, I don't call it whatever you want. The notes are going to go down first and then the pedal. At the beginning here, push the note and then the pedal. You gotta do it fairly quickly because otherwise you won't catch the note. So do it quickly. You can do it at the same time if you have to. And then when I change it, it'll be after I play the notes. Thing is done that way. You can see how they're pedaling it. I find that very blurry. I don't like it at all. So I typically complicate things a bit. You don't have to. You can pedal it like they're showing if you're fine with it. My problem is you get used to hearing the blurriness and you think it's okay. It's not okay. So let's not get used to hearing the blurriness. Now the first three measures is fine. You can hold it down because you're not really doing much. But on the measure 4, I'm going to change it every 2 beats here to clear it out. And on measure 5, again every 2 beats. So really on these where I'm moving around, or the notes are moving around in the right hand, I'm changing it every 2 beats just to clear it out a little bit so it's not so blurry. So starting at measure 3, then it's this. Changing, you don't have to change it. Then at the bottom, page 13, again, I'm going to change it here. And again, I'm going to change it about every measure here. They say hold it down for the whole line. It does this. And if that sounds okay to you, more power to you. I would need some heavy drinking, if you're old enough to drink, to handle that. I'm still going to change it on every beat, the pedal. So it's like that. I'm going to change it on every measure, I should say, not every beat. Did I say every beat? Don't listen to me, just do what I'm doing. Every measure. I'm going to change it once each measure there. I'd like to play it with you very slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms and all. I'm not going to do any dynamics. I'll pedal it as I suggested to pedal it. And let's just try, even play it with me one hand at a time if you need to for a while. So I'll give us 4 counts. So let's just try it and see. 1 and 2 and ready and go and 1 and 2. 4 and 1.